Hello everybody and welcome back to X4, where we are pretty much done with this complex of stations, and they're also pretty much done with all the resources in the area, so that's potentially not a good thing. But we're going to ignore that for right now. We are currently still working on making some of our large trading ships. That is still going to be a bit of a long-term project, in part because of our troubles with getting resources over here. And I did expect that this would, to some degree, be the case, but we seem to be, I think, maybe stabilizing on that. But regardless, we definitely want to make sure that we are not putting all of our eggs into that particular basket. So let's head on up to the other location that we want to make basically the same exact structure, although I am going to modify the XL shipyard to make the SM wharf, so that's going to be a thing.
Autopilot engaged.
But for now, we are just going to head on up to that location. I also want to make sure that the defense platform here, I want to make sure that this is saved as the GE defense platform. There we go. And I don't know how exactly effective this would be, but I want to have some form of defense platform anyway. Better than nothing, I suppose. So let's go get started on our second shipyard complex. And once we have that, I feel like we will be in a pretty good position.
Entering system. Grand exchange.
Of course, we have a whole lot of miners out and about over in this vicinity. I just want to check to make sure that all of our miners are still alive, and indeed they are. I didn't do hardly any AFKing between this episode and last episode, basically just enough to get our XL shipyard online and queue up a Mammoth Vanguard, which of course is not currently being produced because we are lacking materials for it. This is to be expected. We are going to need to get ourselves... Ooh, did we just... I do believe we just impacted an asteroid. Wonderful. Luckily, it did not break our shields, so that is fine. We're going to need to come up over this way and get ourselves our plots of land, and you can also see just how many resources there are in terms of ore up here. So this may be where we end up getting most of our ore, with this being where we get most of our gas. It's a possibility anyway. I mean, there's plenty of other resources around. I'm not too concerned. I'm just mostly slightly concerned about how long it's taking to get to our locations. You can see that a lot of our mining is happening over here. And I think that might be because we have a resource probe down. Like, they're bypassing this area. They're not really doing anything over here, even though we do have a resource probe, which is interesting.
Entering system. Nopelia's fortune.
I don't know. I'm not sure why they're mining up here. Maybe it's just because of the density levels. You can see here, though, that the silicon is regenerating. Yeah, I think we're just tapped out in this region overall. Realistically. We just have too much relying on Grand Exchange, which I'm not surprised by. Although we may want to shutter a couple of our factories in Grand Exchange, because I'm not sure how relevant they are anymore. I'm not sure exactly how we go about doing that. Can we just, like, destroy this factory? Like, the Hull Parts factory, I'm not sure is super useful anymore. I mean, it brings in a little money, I suppose. But yeah, I think we're just tapped out on our silicon. You can see here, yeah, our silicon is quite low over here. There's some silicon over here that they're not mining, though. And we have a resource probe there. So I'm kind of wondering why we're not mining here if we're short on silicon. There's some up here, but there's a whole lot over here. 3.4 per square kilometer, or cubic kilometer, rather. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little strange to me. At any rate, we will be arriving at our next location pretty soon. And we're going to be developing that location in much the same way.
Holy vision.
And realistically, it should go quite quickly. Like, that'll probably be done before next episode. And we'll have our secondary shipyard online. Because I'll probably just AFK it again. And with regard to speeding up time with the, I believe it's called a SETA module, I'm avoiding that actively. Because I kind of like having the time be the limiting factor. Otherwise, I feel like I would just fast forward a ton, and I wouldn't get as much enjoyment out of it as when I actually can't fast forward. So that's why I haven't gone after that. I know it exists, but I'm just not interested in doing it right now. That was interesting, an asteroid in the superhighway. Well, here we are in Argon Prime.
Entering system. Argon Prime.
Let's see how this goes about getting off the superhighway. This should be interesting. How you doing, autopilot? Not well.
Disengage.
Okay. We'll do this manually.
Autopilot.
There we go.
Engaged.
It was trying to get back on the superhighway for reasons known only to the autopilot. Of course, we do have one of our ships up here. Currently, I believe, transferring goods with one of these resupply ships or something. I don't know, but this is one of our large ships, and it's only about half full. Which is not too surprising. And we are going to have another large ship finishing up soon. That is going to go into the wharf. So that's great. But let's go start developing the Reach up here, shall we? I don't know how the Argon will feel about us setting up massive shipyards in their backyard, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so first thing that we want to do is we want to put up a defense platform, and that is going to be 5555. Yeah, I mean, that's a little over large, but I want to make it over large in case we want to do something with it later. So we're going to create a new plot, and this is not where we want to create the new plot. We want to create the new plot where we are. There we go. And realistically, the gateway is there, so somewhere around right here. And I want to rotate it to be facing kind of like that. And then we'll extend this to be that same size. Again, this is overkill on the size, but I want to be able to expand it later if I discover that we need to. So we'll buy that license. That was 6.3 million, and we will just load in the defense platform. Perfect. And we will toss in the money required to build that. I'm not going to hire a builder yet on that, though. So there's our defense platform, just outside of the gateway. And then we will take our XL shipyard here, which is all 7s. That's fine. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to actually pay for all 7s without stealing some money from one of our other accounts. But we'll just position that... Oh, this is not where we want this at all. Let's steal some money from one of our accounts before we do that, shall we? So we're going to maybe grab some money from our headquarters. Yeah, that's some money. Maybe over here as well. That's a little bit. In our life support factory, sure. That got us up to 24 million. Our wharf. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, that got us up to 70 million. And, of course, this wants 197 million. I'm just keeping these at around 30 million for right now. And we'll bring those up to the expected operating budget slowly over time. For now, though, I want to make sure that we are managing our plots. And where are we? No, I don't want to do this here. I want to do this where we are. Yeah, that's more like it. So we are going to do all 7s here. Or actually, let's do our life support factory next. That is 552355. You can ignore that lockbox. Thank you very much. So we will go ahead and create ourselves a 5, 5, 2, 3, 5, 5. And we'll just put that back over here. We'll buy that license. And we will load in the standard life support factory. Wonderful. How much is that going to cost? 25 million. We will accept that estimate and confirm that. Glorious. Next up, we're going to be putting in factories around this, so let's grab the XL shipyard. That is all 7s. Fine. So we're going to create ourselves a new plot. This will be, of course, all 7s in terms of its dimensions. The question is, how much is that going to cost? We'll put it out over perhaps here. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. And then we're going to load in the... I have not saved the XL shipyard. This is the large shipyard here, which we'll do. And I just want to position it correctly. There we go. And then we are going to get rid of the maintenance bay and the fabrication bay. And then we will put in the small ship fabricator, which I actually want to rotate this way, like... I don't think that's right. No, it is not. I want to rotate it, actually, yeah, exactly like that. And then position it right about there. And then the maintenance, we're going to do the same thing. We'll position it over here. Rotate it to be oriented correctly. There we go. And we'll position it like that. So that's our small fabricator. The question is, do we want to combine the large and extra large? We may be able to. Except that they go this way, right? Yeah, they do. That would make things awkward. It would mean we would have to push it out this direction. We'll confirm this for right now. And I don't think we have the funding to actually fund that currently. But we are then going to actually rename this to the Reach SM Wharf. There we go. And how much does it want to make this? 200k. Yeah, we're not going to do that just yet. This is the Reach Life Support Factory, so we need to go ahead and change that here. Life Support Factory. Wonderful. And then we are going to hop over to our XL shipyard here. And we are going to plan this build. And we're going to save this as the XL shipyard. There we go. And we're going to see about combining that and the large shipyard into a single shipyard. So we will then put that probably over here. So a new plot, this would of course be all 7s again. Something like this. And we would place that somewhere over here. Buy that license and continue. We're going to bring in the XL shipyard. And that is actually perfectly fine for positioning. And then... right, because these are faced that direction. Can we maybe fit larges over here on this opposite side? Let's check. Large ship maintenance would obviously not go there. We would need to find somewhere where we can put it temporarily to turn it. Hang on a moment. It can go there. And then the large ship fabricator would, in theory, be able to be positioned on the other side. Like that. So this would then be the Reach LXL shipyard. Okay, I have no idea if this is going to be enough production to run that. If not, we can always expand our production here. But that's going to be substantially cheaper and less hard on the resources. We'll confirm those changes for now, but I'm not going to build those until we actually have our Mammoth Vanguard, which is now in progress and is about an hour away. Obviously, that's not going to be finishing this episode. And I'm also going to need to design a defense fleet for the defense platform. We'll need to take a look at what all it can have there in terms of smalls and mediums. We're not going to have any larges or extra larges there, but then we'll also have a couple of sector fleets that we'll make after we're done with all of this. So that'll be nice. We are about an hour away from this Mammoth Vanguard, and that is, I think, pretty much what we need up here. Of course, we're going to need 12 of each type of miner, gas, and mineral, and we're also going to need an additional 2 of each type for the life support factory. So that would be 14 of each type. So let's go ahead and queue that up. So we will build ourselves some ships, size medium. These are going to be drill mineral vanguards. And then we are going to do high preset, add to shopping list, and we are going to need 14 of these bad boys. We'll confirm that. And we are also going to need, actually I didn't need to go out of that, but we also need some sunders here, which are here, Sunder Vanguards. We're going to high preset those. We're going to add that. We are going to need an additional 14 of those. We'll confirm that. And then we are also going to need a total of 12 Mercury Vanguards. So we will grab ourselves some Mercury Vanguards. These guys. High preset those. We'll need 12 of them. Confirm that order. Excellent. And we will also need 12 Eclipse Vanguards. This does not count what we need for the defense platform, because I have not decided on that yet. But we'll confirm that as well. So this is going to take rather a long time to build all of these ships. That's okay. I don't expect that this will be quick. Unlike this episode, which was a bit of a short one, but that's also kind of to be expected given what we've got going on right now. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and we are just going to wait for our construction ship to finish up, and then our construction ship will start work on these over here. Actually, I'm going to hire a construction ship for the SM Wharf and the Large XL shipyard. So let's go ahead and plan this build. And the reason is because these are going to take substantially longer than the other two. So let's then hire ourselves this guy. Wonderful. And then for the large, extra large shipyard, we will do the same thing. We will hire in this guy. And then our construction ship will take care of the smaller stations, which are also already fully funded. Excellent. Now I do want to toss some money at these, about 25 million credits each, just to get them started. And there we go. Excellent. For now, we will go ahead and head to the Argon shipyard, and we're just going to park there for AFKing. I just don't like to park in the middle of space if I'm going to AFK. I don't think it's a particularly good idea. But for now, off we go. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here. We've set everything in motion that we need to for right now. And as these things finish up, I'll just assign them as appropriate. Until next time, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you when some of these things are a little closer to done.